Okay, full moon in Aquarius today. My sun sign, the core of who I am. Pardon the background noise. I am in my car with the air conditioning on while I am recording this. So, I wanted to let you all know that I have fallen headfirst down the astrology rabbit hole. I mean, I'm completely obsessed. Anyway, not because I think the planets dictate our lives or that our future is somehow written in stone, or rather the stars. I believe we all have free will. We always have a choice in how we respond to whatever life places in front of us. But I've become completely fascinated by something else. Astrology seems to offer a language for the season we're already living. A lantern lighting the same path we're already walking on. It doesn't tell us who we are. It simply holds up a mirror. And lately, that mirror has been almost impossible for me to ignore. Today's full moon falls in Aquarius, illuminating my 7th house. The house of partnership, marriage, friendships, business relationships. The people who become our greatest teachers because they reflect back the parts of ourselves we've either forgotten or we desperately need to see. When I first learned about this, I smiled because my chart couldn't have picked a more fitting place to shine a light. My sun, Venus, and descendant all sit here. Don't even ask me what descendant means here in my chart. I have no freaking clue. I'm still learning. Maybe that can be the subject of my next post. Anyway, apparently, relationships were always going to be one of my greatest lessons here in Earth School. If you've been here for a while, you know the beginning of July completely turned my world upside down. I'm choosing to keep the details of my situation private because some stories belong only to the people living them. What I can tell you is this. Sometimes life has a way of breaking open the very thing you've been avoiding, so healing is no longer optional. And that is exactly what happened. Some of the hardest conversations I've ever had became some of the most important. Walls came down. Truths were spoken. Responsibility was taken. Whew. Excuse the tears. Communication that has been missing for years suddenly found its way back. Not because either of us became perfect. It's because we finally became honest. And something beautiful has begun growing in that honesty. Our relationship today feels stronger than I ever imagined it could. Not because we avoided the storm, but because we walked through it together. And will continue to walk through it together. As I sat with all of this, I realized something. The 7th house isn't just about the people we love. It's about what those relationships ask us to become. Sometimes they ask us to set boundaries. Sometimes they ask us to forgive. Sometimes they ask us to stop abandoning ourselves. And sometimes, if two people are willing to do the work, they become the place where both people finally begin to heal. That has been one of the greatest gifts this season has given me. But as one chapter begins to settle, another is already beginning. On August 12th, a solar eclipse activates my 1st house through my Leo rising sign. The 7th house asks, who are you becoming through your relationships? The 1st house asks something entirely different. Now, who are you? Not as someone's wife, not as someone's daughter, not as someone's friend. Just, who are you when you stop hiding? That question has been following me here everywhere lately. This past year has cracked me open and has been relentlessly asking me to show up in ways I'm so scared to show up in. But if you've noticed, I'm actually showing up more and more. I'm writing a little bit more, sharing more, filming more, letting you see more of the real woman behind the moonlit hollow. Instead of hiding behind pretty pictures and carefully crafted graphics. Thanks, Canva. And if I'm being completely honest, it scares me. Like, it really scares me. I've spent so much of my life worrying about what other people might think, wondering if I was just too weird, too witchy, too emotional, or just too much. Unworthiness has played a big time role in my life. It's been a theme for a very, very long time. But something has definitely shifted. Maybe it is the planets, or maybe it's something even deeper. I'm realizing that the people I'm meant to serve don't need a polished version of me. They need the real one. Looking back now, I realize the moonlit hollow was never the destination. It was the invitation. I thought I was building a cute little witchy shop online. Then I thought I was building courses. I am, and you can definitely find them on my website. Some of them are pretty good too. But seriously, somewhere along the way, I realized I've actually been rebuilding myself. Wow, that line hits hard, doesn't it? Every product I've created, every animal archetype video I've posted on YouTube, every color palette I have up on my website, every room I've designed, every ritual I've performed, every difficult season, every single one has quietly been asking me the same question. Will you stop hiding now, Christine? Maybe that's what this eclipse means for me. Not becoming someone new, finally allowing the woman I've been becoming all along to step into the light. Because if I'm being really honest, the moonlit hollow has never been about crystals, or ritual kits, or color palette guides. Those are simply the tools. What I've always wanted to build is permission. Permission for women to stop apologizing for who they are. Permission to create homes that reflect their souls instead of other people's expectations. Permission to believe that the magic they keep searching for has been quietly waiting inside of them all along. Maybe that's why astrology has captivated me so deeply. Not because it predicts the future, but because it keeps asking better questions. Questions about purpose, identity, relationships, growth. Questions that invite us to know ourselves a little more honestly. Who knows? Maybe an astrology class is somewhere in my future. Fair warning, if I disappear into a stack of astrology books over the next few months, don't come looking for me. There's a very good chance you'll see astrology finding its way into the moonlit hollow before long. The more I learn, the more I realize it's simply another path back to the same destination I've always cared about. Understanding ourselves so we can finally create lives and homes that feel like they really belong to us. At this point, I wouldn't rule anything out. Because one thing I've learned over the past few weeks is that life has a funny way of leading us exactly where we need to go, even if the path looks nothing like we imagined. And maybe that's the real magic. Not the stars determining our lives, but that every once in a while, they help us recognize the story we've been living all along.